accept advice and criticism. That's a decision that we make. I can decide to do these things. I may not be perfect at doing them. I have to work at doing them. I have to work at changing. But I can decide to do them. The things that I can learn, I can't sit here and decide, okay, I'm deciding I'm going to be able to run a cash register. Well, if I have knowledge, if I have skill, I can do that. But if I haven't learned that, then I can't do it. It's not like something I can change or I can decide. I'm going to be willing to learn, willing to follow, or willing to do extra. I would have to learn that somewhere. But the good news is we can learn too. We just have to get that information, get that training. So things I can change, can do right now, things I can learn. I'm going to mention this again later on, I just warn you. But these things that I can change, what we talked about them are, these are things, these are different bits of character, they're different types of behaviors that we say, gee, you know, some boss at work likes their employees to be like this. And so I told you that these are things that will make a change in us. And the key point I was just going to mention again there was, I'm going to mention it again, but these things are good not only for getting a job, but they're just good for life skills, for success in life. All right, so we looked at that, and knowing you can change, knowing that you can learn are foundation blocks you need in all of your jobs. I've had to utilize those in every single job that I've had. And they're foundation blocks you need in life from now on. So knowing you can change, knowing you can learn. You're going to be changing all your life. You're going to be learning all your life. Hopefully it's because you're making decisions. You know, I'm not so good here. I'm going to decide to do that differently. Or, hey, here's something new for me to learn. Is there any questions on that? All right. A little bit more of our review. We talked about, what is this illustrated? Do you remember?
Yes, it's the pubis, then
Yes.
it turns to the
Yes.
chrysalis, and then it turns into the butterfly.
How is that caterpillar and butterfly like us?
Going through life changes.
That's right. This illustrates that change process. What happens is there's a change made, and as a result of that change, this organism comes out in a wholly different form. That's the change process. The change happens inside of us. So we have responsibility up there, being more responsible. If that's something that we struggle right now with, that we're not behaving responsibly all the time, and we say, gee, I want to change that in me. We can start with some behaviors. That's good. But what's going to happen is, as we practice doing that more often,
It's
we
just
will-
allergies.
we will become, hope you're not allergic to butterflies.
Yes.
We can become more responsible.
Yes.
That's who we end up being because of that change in us. And that sort of happens normally. What we do is sort of what we become. It's what has been built into us by the Creator in just the way humans are made up. It's a natural process. If we know God, and if we've believed in Christ for our salvation, He says that He gives us a new life, a new nature. And He's continually working to change us through that new nature so that we're not following what the old nature is about. So this process is happening. We have the privilege of participating in it if you're a follower of God. All right, that's change. We can change. When we talked about we can learn, we talked about two people. Do you remember either of them? Make your brain cells work. We had two people. One was Helen Keller. The other was
yes,
Albert Einstein. Good, there you
Albert
go.
Einstein, yes, right.
There they are. Okay, so, and these two people are a terrific example of learning. We said, first of all, with learning, that everybody can learn. And that means you can learn.
That's why we have Braille, because of her, because isn't that when they invented
Oh, that's a
Braille?
good question. I don't know all the details there.
She learned, sign language, she learned sign language because she,
being deaf.
Yeah,
deaf
yeah.
and
Well, she
blind.
in
Yeah.
spite of being deaf and blind,
she wrote books, she had
That's right,
seminars,
exactly.
she went on with her
Exactly.
life and traveled around the world.
exactly, and it's in an era where people with disabilities,
Felt the fingers, she felt the hands and each letter meant.
Yeah.
They, remember that story on Patty Duke did it, Helen Keller?
Yeah,
There was a movie on it, there's several movies
All
that
right.
have been.
okay.
all right.
That's
The
right.
point was, in spite of that disability,
Right.
she
She was
did more
able.
learning than you or I have ever
Ever
done.
done,
That's
wrote
why she
books,
has,
everything.
Albert Einstein,
was a genius.
dyslexia and autism,
And he was a
and
genius.
he changed the face of nuclear science.
Wasn't he part of the hydrogen bomb?
So, my point was, if these people can learn,
Right.
we can learn, absolutely. We can learn.
There is one place.
All right. And then we talked about the fact that the job hunt, yes, you can change, yes, you can learn, but hunting for a job is hard. And so we talked about a couple of practical things for you. Realize you cannot do it alone. So we need to get God's help, pray. Talked about some things there, and get people to help you too. You have a mentor, you have friends. You find people that willing to invest time in you and will tell you the truth about things. All right, now, so we're already into last week's lesson in reviewing it, but here's where we talked about this high power body language, or what you all talked about, power pose. And this has to do with chemicals in the brain. Remember there was a researcher, her name was Lisa Cuddy. No, not Lisa Cuddy, Amy Cuddy.
Amy.
Amy Cuddy, and she's a researcher actually at Harvard University, and discovered that a body position that you take for just 2 minutes can change the relative levels of cortisol, which is the bad chemical, and testosterone, which is the good chemical in your body. And she said that in the experiments of students that took these poses for 2 minutes, found those elevated levels of those. Here's another couple of poses you can strike that do the same thing. This is actually the same one here, but I couldn't resist. Do that. You remember all that?
Mm-hmm.
You guys had a chance to practice those?
Wonder Woman.
Oh, right. I can't believe that Wonder Woman up there.
It is.
All right.
So we learned how body
You don't
positioning,
slouch, you sit up straight, a little
Body.
bit held tilted, but
No,
not.
I don't.
and the trick is, before you're in an interview or before there's some important thing, or maybe you realize, gee man, the last couple of hours I've just been beaten down.
sluggish.
Take 2 minutes and do this. You help your brain out, you help your body out. It's not a miracle, it's one tool that'll help.
Wow.
All right, so we did talk about that. And so I would say, connected with job interviews, always, when you're getting there early, get there 7 minutes early and find out where the bathroom is, go into a stall and take 2 minutes to do this. Give yourself that extra leg up if you're in an interview situation. And then, this was homework for last time, to start working on a little plan about some skills, some things you are able to do or have done, possible types of jobs. And then, based on these two, put put down a couple or a few things of what I need to change, what I need to learn to have those types of jobs.
Right. I'm gonna,
I'm seeing a paper towel
I didn't have any paper to
and no
write.
notebook, so I have paper.
I didn't have
But,
anything to write on.
but, so did you do your homework? Because you don't have your.
I didn't bring the book.
Didn't
I
bring
got
the
here
book.
first.
Did you do it?
Right.
I did do mine.
Did
Right,
you?
I
Okay,
did.
good.
Mine at home.
Here, let me get you some paper.
I need to be certified to take care of someone in their home, to keep them out of a nursing home. I have a job now. I
Oh, great.
clean houses that are being flipped.
Well, there you go.
But it's
There
few
you
and
go.
far between, and it's not so satisfying, you know? And
But
I
there's-
figured,
There's always something to change
Right.
and there's always something to learn.
I've done that in the past, so
Yeah, good.
I know I'm good at that.
Excellent. Well, that's all I want to know. Did you do your homework? So
I
that's
have-
good.
I have to. No, I took care of my mother and my neighbor, keeping him
All
out
right.
of a nursing home. He was 98 and my mother
So
died
we
of
have-
cancer.
Are we gonna
Okay, excuse me, we
discuss?
have to move on.
All right, we are.
I thought we were gonna discuss this before we
Yeah.
put down.
We're gonna, oh, did you want to discuss what you did?
No, I was just wondering.
Okay, we
I
could,
mean, I don't care.
but
Am I
if
able
you
to
did it,
do
I'm happy.
Skills.
I did mine.
Good, excellent. All right, let's move on to, we've got a lot to cover today and the rest of our time, because we're going to talk about applying for jobs. Applying for jobs. We're going to talk about some things that are going to help you with that. First of all, the application itself. So you're going to be filling in application forms. How can an application form help you? Do you have any ideas?
It gives you some type of thing of the questions that are gonna be on the real deal if you
It could,
go apply
yes.
for the job.
It could. Yeah.
And it helps you prepare the right answers. And,
Yeah, it does. It can tell you something about the company you're applying to,
Right.
and what they think is
What
important.
they require.
Right. And what they require, sure, absolutely. Well, let's take a look. This is maybe old and out of date, but applying for McDonald's, this would be the first page that you see. Explore a golden opportunity. So, are they trying to discourage people from applying or trying to encourage people to apply?
Encourage.
Okay.
Yeah, they sure are. From here, you can get ahead. So they're trying to get people to apply. Now, yeah, they want good people, people that have those qualities that we wrote down as good qualities. But they want people. So when you're trying to find a job, it's not like you're trying to convince a company that they should hire somebody. They're looking for people. And then they even tell you here, look, 30% of our franchise owners, 50% of our corporate staff, and 70% of our managers started as crew. So they're telling you there's a future here potentially for you. Here's some of the great benefits. So employers want you. They want good people. And you're in the process of changing into those very, very qualities you said an employer wanted to see in somebody. So you have to keep in mind, because job hunting is a very discouraging process, that they really want good people. And you're going to be one of those good people. That's something you can notice from application forms. They want good people. And here is, I'm just emphasizing that. What about here tells you that they want good people? Well, apply today, don't wait.
Great.
We want to see your thing. But then, look at this last paragraph at the bottom. Here's, if hired, some of your responsibilities would include reporting to work on time, dress neatly and cleanly. You'd be helping us deliver friendly, accurate, and fast service in a respectful, professional environment. We'd like you to uphold and follow McDonald's operational, quality, and food safety standards and help make every customer feel like a valued guest. So what are they telling you?
That they have a lot of requirements. That they have expectations out of you. So
They aren't
yeah.
telling you they have a lot of requirements. But look at what they're writing down there.
they're helping you
They're,
to know what.
they're telling you we want good people.
Right.
Because a lot of those things, the very things you all put up on this list of things that employers are looking for. And so so you read this and say, okay, they're looking for these things. So as you talk about yourself, any skills or abilities or things you've learned or things that you've done in the past. Look for a way. If you want this job, and if you are the kind of person, you've been working on change, that reports on time, that is interested in other people, that are respectful, if you are those things, then you try to include that information where you can, either on the application form or during the interview. So learn from the application form, anything they tell you, because now you know how to show them you're that good person that they want. Does that make sense?
And how would you go in there dressed?
And how would you go in there dressed? Exactly.
Exactly.
Right, right.
Well, how
Yeah.
would you go, just like a construction site, would you go into a construction site dressed up?
Yeah.
Would
Well,
you?
If you're applying for the job, just
Sure.
neat and clean.
Not really dressed up, but casual, like nice pair of jeans for men, like a dark, nice pair of jeans, a nice shirt.
'Cause I know,
Okay.
I remember
I would go in my
when
construction
working at
boots and
McDonald's.
my tools, just in case
But-
I was hiring.
And you're not gonna wear
Okay, so,
a
excuse me a
pair of
second.
jeans like this
Excuse
with
me
holes
just a second.
and stuff.
So if McDonald's is saying, we would include reporting to work dressed neatly, you don't show up,
Well, you
just
got
in-
uniform. You
in
got
any
uniform.
old, in any old clothes to the interview saying, yeah, I'm the kind of guy that's gonna
Dress nice
show
and
up
sharp.
dressed neatly. You
Right.
you go to the interview dressed neatly because you know that's important to them. Well, very good. Good job. Good observation on that. Okay, so what else can we learn from the application?
Party
Let's look
city.
at the Party City
Oh,
application.
Be a
I'm
fun,
switching from McDonald's to Party City. So let's see,
fun, upbeat person,
what else can we
ready to
learn
party.
from here?
Not ready to party.
Party acts, selling,
Okay,
Position.
so this is basic demographic information, right?
Position and salary.
Here's employment desired and salary.
right?
So the more you know about the company, the more you can help them out there with that. Have you ever been employed? What type of employment you're seeking? When could you start? So this is the demographic part. Next page. Look at this. You are required, very top, you're
Customer
required to
service.
provide our customers with outstanding service. Do you accept this responsibility?
Right. Exactly, you're.
So as you go into the interview, you're gonna try to find ways to talk about your ability to provide outstanding service, because you know that's important to
You're
them.
representing the company.
Now, look at the next sentence. And just in case you missed it in the first sentence, look what they say in the second sentence. On the interview, you will be asked to provide your definition of outstanding customer service and describe a time when you provided this type of service.
Customer's always right.
So what are you gonna do before you go to an interview for this company?
You're gonna study it.
Yeah?
You may have to check on what their job policies are, or their,
Right.
customer service
But-
policies are.
You certainly may want to practice, write out what your definition of outstanding customer service is, what you're gonna tell them for that. Because having filled in this application, you don't wanna go to the interview and have them say, well, what's your definition of outstanding customer service? And you go, oh, let me think about that, because they said, look, we told you, the person we want's the person that reads that and says, oh, I get it, and you're in, and you're ready.
When I was working for Best Buy, you know, we went beyond. You know,
Yeah.
we would go onto the computers and actually look up, because we didn't want to tell the person, hey, we don't have this item, you know, that type of thing.
Right.
So we'll get on the computer, hey, such and such store has it, you know, we can have it here
Yes.
by tomorrow,
Yes.
you know.
So that's right here. Describe a time when you provided this type of service. What type? Outstanding customer service. Yeah, that's exactly what they're looking for. Give it to them. Give it to them. All right, so the key is, notice what's important to the company. I sort of half covered it over these things, but look what's important to this company. Party City stores are often open for business on holidays and have extended business hours for special events, store promotions, inventory, or holidays. I know. But what's important to that store?
And it's making sure, you know, seeing that.
That you're able to work all them hours.
That you can
That you're
be available for the
Yeah,
holidays.
available.
That's right. So in terms of you preparing, you have to say, okay, I need to be able to be clear to them what things I can do. What kinds of those things I can do. And maybe there's one of those or two of those you can't do. You need to be able to be upfront with them if they ask about those.
Right.
Okay?
Tell my job
So-
I'm not available on Sundays, I have to be in church.
Right. So notice things that might be asked in the interview. Notice what is important to the company. Because it's not about you, it's about the company.
Right.
They want to pay you money, but then they say, this is the kind of person we want. And you know what that is because you put it on the board the first week. You know what kind of person they want, generally. And then there's some specialized things like this. Okay,
Like
so
a
You have to
schedule
be
thing.
flexible.
you do have to be flexible.
That's what I like about the schedule. I'm open to close.
Okay, let's see what else.
All right.
All right,
Work
this,
experience.
I didn't put any marks on here.
That's the only thing I don't like is the work experience, because I have a bad time remembering the date and the year.
Right.
Well, then what would be useful for you to do as you prepare to look for a job?
Well, see, I don't even remember when the last time I had a job, because I'm on disability now.
Yeah. So it's important to sit down sometime when you have the time and figure out your best memory of
Yeah, I just rounded up.
when you have it. And I put it on a piece of paper and put that piece of paper somewhere where you can get to it anytime you apply for a job. So you don't have to go through that same process of trying to figure it out. Because you know this is going to be asked most of the time.
Right.
All right, so good.
The crime.
Thanks for pointing that out. That's a really good
See,
issue.
that's the thing if you can go back to the other one.
Yes,
Real quick.
sure,
That's the thing I had a problem with,
Yeah.
is have you ever been convicted of a crime?
sure.
You know, that type of thing.
Sure.
Well, see, I don't know if, I had to put yes,
Okay.
because for the simple fact, I mean, it wasn't a crime, it was a felony,
Mhm.
Right.
that was false
Yeah.
charges.
Right. So that's not convicted
But
of
I
false
still had
charges,
to
though.
put yes.
You were convicted of it and you didn't do it?
No, I didn't do it.
Well, then you don't have, but you were
No,
convicted
it was
of it?
still, I wasn't convicted.
Well, there you go, you don't
It
have to
still
talk
had-
about it.
But
They
it's
weren't
not
convicted.
that, if it's on the
It said
record.
convicted.
Right, if it's on your record, they're gonna
Yeah,
still
it's
ask
on your
about
record.
it.
It's gonna be on your
Well-
record even though you didn't do it?
Yes,
What?
yes,
Yeah.
But
yep.
if they say, have you been convicted of a crime, I
I
would not
say no.
answer. I would not answer more than that.
No.
You see
They're
what I'm
they're
saying?
not
Yeah.
gonna look it up if everything else is pretty much
Well,
good to go.
I remember when you were charged with it.
Mhm.
That's not convicted.
Right, exactly.
Convicted is going to jail for that
Yeah.
crime.
So
I went to jail for it, but I had to get bailed out.
Sure. Right.
Yeah, but
But
when it
just-
came to the court case, you're guilty, you did it.
It was null process, so that means that was on my
Yeah.
record.
The null process,
So if
basically saying guilty.
Yeah.
a manager went to go look at it,
Yeah.
it's on my record.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They will sit there and ask
That
about
don't
it.
sound
Okay,
fair.
the other thing we should look at, and look at all this writing here. I hereby affirm that the information in this application
Right, it's
accompanying
true.
documents, if any, is true and complete to the best of my knowledge. I also agree that any misstatement, falsified information, or omission deemed significant by the party city may disqualify me for further consideration for employment and may be considered justification for discharge if discovered after an offer of employment has been extended to me. Why do I have to read all this? Well, here's one reason. You just have to read and make sure, is because this has an important date in it that you need to know if you want to get hired by Party City, and I know we don't necessarily. Very last one. I understand that this application for employment will only be considered for 120 days from the date it is submitted. Should I wish to be considered for employment beyond this time period, I must submit a new application. You need to know that. Mark your calendar. If you're reading on and search for a job, this is the place you want to go after, that you mark your calendar after you've applied at 118 days or something, say, apply again. You know, so that's you just have to be careful in applications. I know it's a pain in the neck to read some of this stuff, but sometimes there are important dates there. Back to McDonald's. And the only reason I have this out of order is because McDonald's USA LLC, employment application, first name, middle name, last name. But look at this wee tiny sentence up here.
No, I
Your
can't even see it.
I'll read it to you. Your application will be considered active for 30 days. Hyphen. To be considered for a job after that, you must reapply. Same thing, you put it in wee tiny print.
Right,
That's
so you better
important
be
for you
able
to
to
know.
read it, right.
It's important to know. So you need to be looking at the application with an eye to, what do I need to know here? What does it tell me about the company? So that I can demonstrate to them or tell them about, show them that I am the kind of employee they want. You need to locate these things, anything that's going to help you in the interviewing process, to get hired, or even to fill out this application.
Now, what would you put into
Yes.
open and close, your availability?
When you're-
Okay.
when you can
What
do
would you do?
any hours at first.
You should always
Open
be
and close.
honest in an application.
I mean,
And also, you should be putting your best foot forward. So you have to understand, if you put,
You can be available for open and close, and you can't, then you're in trouble.
yeah, if you're not willing to commit to that, then say it. What they're really looking for are people that have definite obligations. And I don't have the full application here. There should be some place to write some additional information on this.
yeah, no, I know what
And there
you're
isn't
talking
right on this spot, but there may be somewhere later in the application.
about. Yeah, I know that, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So you say, I'm taking a
Any-
class this night, or I have to be there for
Your
my
rewards.
ailing father on these 3 nights or something. But I'd be honest, if you can't do something, you can't say that you will.
Right, I
Yeah.
say I'm available 6 days
Yeah,
a week
you have to be
except Sunday
honest.
because I need to be in church. And I don't believe we should work on Sundays anyway,
No. I don't
just
think-
doctors. The rest of us, it's okay to be in church.
According to the Bible,
Yeah, it's okay to
that's
be in
what-
church, that's
And
Absolutely.
I say on religious beliefs,
Yeah.
I claim that. because
All right.
I need that.
All right, good. Let's see, what else do we have here for you? 18. All right, here's one more slide, I think. I think this is still a McDonald's application. Oh yeah, here we go.
Opportunities.
General, what other relevant experience or training have you had and other activities you've been involved in? 2 things about this. Number 1, notice the opportunities to include good things about your experiences. Oh, we passed some, I meant to mention it, we caught up in another discussion. Party City did this too, and I see that here. Let me go back and see if I can get the Party City one. Okay. Notice when they talk about work experience, list below 3 working experiences, including former employers, not-for-profit organizations, that's what the well is,
Right,
and volunteer work, which is the well, and other
Right.
things.
right.
And they'll also ask
So there's
you,
lots of opportunities to put things down. McDonald's, on their application, sorry I forgot to mention this on the way through, back to McDonald's, they do the same thing, although they're a little bit shorter about it. They say list work performed on a volunteer basis, if not applicable. List, but I'd list it, even if it is applicable, even if you have an employer here, and then you've done something at the well since, I'd put the well anyway.
right,
So, and please attach a separate list of employers if more space is needed. Take advantage of that to get down anything that helps that. Now, we're back over here. Oh, yeah, we talked about this. What happened? Where am I going? There we are. You were asking about what you put down for hours. If there's anything that any comments you want to make, look what they have here. They have this general, where they want other relevant experience or training. Well, guess what? That's what all this is. Being under a mentor at the well is training. You should include that and talk about that. And what other activities are you involved in? What fits under that too, even if you don't want to call it training. Talk to Mandy, talk to your mentor about ways to help express this so that you can demonstrate to employers the kind of employee you'll be. But look at this, general. Now, are they gonna read, if they see something here, they're gonna read it? They sure are, because they're looking for relevant experience. So this gives you an opportunity to say, by the way, back on question so-and-so, the reason I put, you know, a question mark on the hours I could do, or this or that, and you can put a little explanation, because they have given you some room. Remember I said if they give you room, you can do that. But notice opportunities include good things about your experiences or clarifying things. The point is, they want good employees. You're making changes and you're learning and to make yourself a good employee. So they want you. You're putting yourself in a position where you're the kind of person they want. So find ways to communicate you're the kind of person they want in the application form, where you can. All right, let's see, is that all for applications? Right, now, so that's my little blurb on applications. So let's just stand up for a minute, if you're able. Your back.
My back and my leg.
How's your back and your leg?
It hurts.
Oh, you still hurt? I'm sorry.
It's the weather.
Yes, weather's not good on those kind of days. So, that's right, that's right. Knock down that cortisol.
You need to go to the hospital.
Yeah, he did.
I'm not going.
You got a knock there? You need to go have that checked, x-rayed, something.
Well, like this, the day it happened,
Oh, that's when you fell on that railing.
yeah. I had to go redo it.
Would you like a?
Oh, no, I'm just fine.
I gotta take Rob to the hospital, go get that knot checked out.
Oh,
Yeah, well, I'm going
where's the knot?
with you.
They're on his forehead.
Oh, would he fall?
No.
Did you
Just show
find
up.
out, figure out where we
I'm
were
going with you.
in this thing? Oh, yeah. Yeah. So let me go back.
There you go.
Because I have almost all of them listed on the screen. Is that where it starts? Notice that employers want good, oh no, it goes before that. Notice what is.
Are you
right
taking
there,
like
see?
a little break?
Notice what is important to the company. Important is the word that goes in there.
Mrs. Lee, are you taking like a little break?
I'm going to get started again in just a second.
Oh. That was the reason why I was stopped the camera.
Oh, yeah, just a little 2-minute break is all we're taking.
To the company, I got that.
And then there's that one, that's the very first one.
Right.
Notice employers want good employees.